eBay is doing marketing for me. Just really neat. Hey, do they ever really fix things? I have no idea what this is. What do I care? Let's go. I'm good at this. Hello everybody, Drew here. Tip of the Mitt Flips. It's going to be probably a short one today. It was a terrible sales weekend. February in general has not been great. I think there's a lot of factors involved. February tends to be one of the worst months of the year for everyone. Everyone thinks it's January because after Christmas kind of things, but January was better than December for me. But February has not been great. It's a shorter month, and then large areas that normally buy a lot of things, you know, the Texas area, there's a lot of people that live in Texas, Florida, Louisiana, all those places, like shipping's not even happening in some of them. So I think there's a lot of, it's, you know, coming up on tax season, all those things factor in, but that's why you have to make sure when you decide to become a full-time reseller that you're not counting on that weekly, daily money coming in, because yes, there will be months where you can barely keep up on shipping, but there will also be months or weeks where, you know, it's not that great. And the more you do it, yes, your sales go down, but less of a extreme hit that is. But as far as a weekend, this was not a good one. So let me go ahead and get these pulled, and then I'll get some listing out today, because that always helps. If your sales are slow, list more things. That's the only thing you can really control is how many things you're listing, how good the things that you're listing are. So that's the only advice really that you need. When sales are slow, list more things, list better things. It's not like I got a raccoon coming through the ceiling. That ain't no good. Maybe some ice shifting on the roof. I got one spot right, I mean, you don't really need to see it, but right up here where I ran out of insulation and then this stuff was all in my way. And if you look from one of the second story windows out onto the garage, you can see where the heat escapes, because there will be a foot of snow up there, and then there's this one spot where it's just always melted. So that's something I need to remedy, but I don't foresee that happening before summertime or before next fall. I don't know. Can we just have 25 hours in the day? Like just one bonus hour where you get to accomplish all the things? That would be the best. First up, we have Alkalines gun, something like that. Alkalines gun for PS4. I don't know how to say that. $9.99 free shipping. I got all those. If you've watched some of the other videos, I got a lot of games from our local Family Video going out of business. All Family Videos are going out of business. I had talked about possibly going and being an end buyer. In a previous video, someone asked me, what's an M buyer? It's end buyer. I just have a mush mouth. But I was going to go in and buy out whatever they had left, good, bad, whatever, for a discounted rate. But they sold out. Their shelves were empty. They posted a thing like, hey, we got a couple of things. And I just like looked in the background. I was like, there's nothing there. I don't need to go get those non-existing things. But the stuff I got has been selling great. So I'm happy I at least stopped in there a couple times. And I worked there when I was younger. So it was just kind of nice to pop in and talk to some people I know and all that kind of stuff. Next up, Dynasty Warriors Gundam Microsoft Xbox 360. Yes, right here. Dynasty Warriors Gundam Xbox 360. That game, $15.99 free shipping. That's a decent price for a used video game. Next up, we have WWE 2K15. I sold the other version of this I had for Xbox One already. This is the 360 version. Mr. John Cena there. $11 free shipping. This next item was a mistake. I run sales on the weekend because it's a good way to generate extra business during peak shopping hours. Something I do that I think all established sellers should do if you look at the prices I have on 70% of my stuff compared to other sellers, I price mine more expensive. And that's for a few reasons. One is that a lot of sellers are part-time or just getting rid of some stuff in their house, that kind of thing. And people get burned on like just bad communication, or the item wasn't like how they wanted it, or just it was junk in the first place, or it was a scam. There's lots of scams out there. So it is getting to a point where being an established rated seller is a selling point. People go, oh, that they go to your review, they go, oh wow, 100% positive, great. I'd rather buy it from this person and pay an extra $1 because I know I'll get it. And then the other reason is because then eBay is doing marketing for me. So if I price something 10% higher than market value, and then I run a 15% sale every weekend, now eBay is for me sending out emails to anyone that's ever looked at that item, sending out notifications to anybody that's ever come close to looking at something like that item that says, hey, buy this guy's item because it's on sale, when really it's not that much on sale. And that's not everything. I run sales on everything, but that's why my prices tend to be a little bit higher than everyone else's, especially on like vintage and collectibles. I'll price 30% higher than the next person because people are going to trust that it's good from me, that it's going to get there safely. And then, like I said, then you're forcing eBay to do your marketing for you, which is great because marketing is expensive and I don't want to do that. That's not part of my business plan. But yeah, the reason I messed up on this one is it's a Garbage Pail Kids 35th anniversary stickers box from Topps. The card business is booming, and so I picked it up retail arbitrage, but it was an item that I wasn't supposed to put on sale. I have, a few things that I'd rather sit on them than ever run a sale on them until supply goes down and then it matches my price. The market matches my price. Just trying to predict where the market's going. And I accidentally put this on sale. $21.99 free shipping. I didn't lose money, but I think I paid $11 for it. It's going to cost, $4 to ship it. So, $7 before fees. That's not great. So, so I missed out on, I missed out on like $3, $4 maybe. But just something to keep an eye out. When you're running sales, make sure you're sure that you want all of the things you put on sale to be on sale. Next up, the only more expensive, not even that expensive item that went out this weekend is a 4-piece brass fireplace set. And let's see if I can move this just so we can get a look at it. And it is that one there. Not going to pull right now. Might show how to pack that if I have time. I have a lunch date with 2 pretty ladies today. So it's first adventure out for the baby with mom and dad. So she's almost 1. That's not normal to it to be the first time out doing something. But, life hasn't been super normal for the last year. But yeah, $39.99 plus shipping on that one. They paid $30 shipping. I think when I did shipping estimates on those, I'm pretty positive on the fireplace sets that I was doing the estimates as like a whole piece. And the last 2 I've shipped out, I took them apart and shipping was much cheaper. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how my day goes. It's been a weird day already and I ain't even started. After that, NHL 14 for PlayStation. We got going. Here we go. NHL 14 PS3. I got $8.99 free shipping. Then last thing up, this sold this morning, 2014 FIFA World Cup. 2014 FIFA World Cup. I have 3 2014 FIFA World Cups. Which one do we got here? Brazil. Got to make sure we don't pull the wrong one when they're close like that, especially when they're literally right next to each other. Brazil, there we go. Xbox 360, $7.99 free shipping on that one. Like I said, very, very light. Like this And that's my shipping for the day. Plus, of course, the Fireplace thing. I didn't even hit $100. This is just it's not a good weekend, and not something, like I said, I'm not worried. That's not how resale works. Not how eBay works. Like, if you just keep doing the things you're supposed to be doing, then eventually it just balances back out. Like, I'm not gonna get discouraged and be like, oh God, I gotta go get a job. No. Why would I do that? Jobs are stupid. This is a job. I was just kidding. Yeah, so I'll get some things listed today. Did a little cleanup on my, this doesn't really have anything to do with anything, but I noticed in the back of my videos that the background was looking a little chintzy. So I just moved some stuff around that I had and thought that might look a little bit better in the back. Eventually I'll get all these fired up and working at the same time, but right now that's not really a priority. And also this cannot be permanent here. It's just, I know eventually I'll need more space for stock, and my thought is that what I'll eventually do is take the shelving, which I know that sounds daunting, if not to you, it does to me. Take the shelving and I'm gonna move it out to get different shelving. This is very temporary. These are like what your pallets of like flowers come on at Tractor Supply, but they're great temporary shelves. Don't get me wrong. For the free I paid for them, these have been great. But what I want to do is get some that I can actually move out about 3 feet and then be able to work around it, maybe double stack them back to back so that I can not take up a ton more space but use both sides, something like that. That's at least my thought. And then eventually eliminate this by making it a little more permanent, maybe over there with stuff that I just want, like my own collectibles. And then I think what I'm gonna do, I got a lot of house projects coming up, like a lot this summer. So doing any real remodeling of the garage really isn't a priority. But eventually, I think what I'm gonna do is finish the garage, because I eventually am gonna eliminate this door. I've been tossing it back and forth, but I'm turning the garage door into a double wide regular swing door, just to create more space and be able to use it functionally, because this thing is not, this is a terribly terrifying. It's a scary door when it goes up and down. It's got like some piano hinge that somebody just threw on it probably 30 years ago or something, I don't know. But my plan is get the garage door out, replace it with a regular door, and so I have an in and out from the car without having to track through the house and wake the baby up. Eliminate this door over here, because then I want to do take our we got a pretty big porch on the front, covered porch, but I want to continue that around the side of the house, and not covered, but just have a porch that goes around a patio, and then a patio to the back, and then where it butts into the kitchen on the back side, I'm going to put a back door there. So I don't think I'll actually need this one or want this one anymore. So just for, insulating purposes, I think I'm just going to eliminate the door. But to finish my thought, I think I might finish just this one corner of the garage. Like not have I don't need a finished garage. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's literally storage. But I think having an office area over here, which I already have, but one that has a desk and it's nice and I can hang something on the wall, a clock, whatever I want to do. I can make my game stuff a little more permanent, something like that. Just kind of have my own little space. Have we call it the library. It's my office upstairs, but it's this house, it's just, the layout is so weird because it was built in 1890 and they would just have a baby and throw a wall up or whatever. I don't know what they were thinking, but there's like this giant room, but it's a hallway. It goes from a bedroom to the stairway, or a bedroom to a second bedroom, and it's a big room, but it's a hallway, so you can't use it as a bedroom. And the kids are just too little for it to be my office. Like, if I'm trying to edit video, it's a good time, because every 3 seconds, hey Dad, look what I could do. Hey, okay, thank you, I'm gonna go back to work. I'm working right now. Sorry, okay, that was great, I loved it. So I think I need to move the office as part of the garage. Like I said, so so many projects, so little time. So the best thing I can do, because that was the thing, I'm a pretty handy guy. I could do most of these projects, but I think my time will be better spent making more money and then paying someone to do these projects so that they're not just a headache to me. I mean, still, even if you pay somebody, that's a headache. They're in your house and whatever, but at least I'm not having to work a 16-hour day just so that I can still, got some glare there, just so I can still get my other stuff done and work on the house. It's daunting. But and on top of that, I just every day I'm like, I want to do this new thing. I want to start reselling cards. And I jump into that, and that's fun. I'm really enjoying that. That's a hobby. If you didn't watch the last video, actually 2 videos ago, I was talking about starting sending stuff off to PSA. But that's a hobby I did when I was a kid, and I loved it. And I was a meticulous child, so all my collection from when I was a kid are pristine right now, or at least roughly. So I got a bunch of them sent off. I'm gonna try not to make that a big part of this channel, because that's not what I set out to do with this channel. It's about my eBay resale business, or just resale in general, flipping things. So I think what I'll do is maybe a couple of steps along the way, I'll let you know how that goes, or what I did wrong. And then if I find something like at a garage sale that's going to flip, stuff like that, I think I'll keep updated. And then once they start coming back in, which is 8 months to a year from now. So I don't need to talk about it every video, because it's very far in the future, because it takes forever to get stuff back. And the more I look into it, the more it turns out that all these companies are shams and there's shill bidding, and it's all, so to do it as a business, I'm not doing that. That's not. But if I find some at a garage sale and I get them graded, yeah, that makes sense for me as a collector and as a businessman. So I think what I'll do is just give some updates every once in a while, let you know how it's going, and then eventually once I start coming back in, maybe I'll give an update of like what my personal collection portfolio has grown to, or if I do start putting some in my store, of course you'll see them then. But I think what was happening is, because couple videos ago, I think maybe just the title was like perfect for what's going on right now with all the card collecting, because it became my second most viewed video in like 48 hours, and I got 0 extra subscribers. So I think what was happening is a lot of people were coming because of the title to get advice on cards, and that's not advice I have. The advice I have is don't do it. Like, unless you want to do it for fun, do not do it. As soon as you start watching some of the videos of people telling you how to do it and what it's about, it's real easy to start picking up on the slime bag, hedge fundy, no offense to hedge fund people, but your Wolf of Wall Street type of guy. I haven't found any with any gals, but if I do, I'll let you know if they're also slime baggy. I found one person that just seemed like a regular person that was just telling me regular person advice, and I even left a long comment. I was like, I've spent 3 hours watching these stupid videos. You're the first one that didn't make me just want to vomit, because you're trying to sell me a course, or you're trying to redirect me to your website, or you're literally have like a stock market ticker going by on your video, which it's not live. So what is this ticker doing? It's telling me information that from your video 6 months ago. Like, that's not helpful. All it does is make you look better, and then therefore people go to your website and buy your things and all this kind of stuff. But my advice, don't do it. If you're a collector, sure, have fun, enjoy it, dabble, do whatever you want. But for resale, no, especially not like eBay resale. If you are I guess if you were like into stocks and that's the kind of thing you like to do, sure. Because then what you're doing is you're taking shots. You're trying to predict the future of a player, future of a card. I also don't have enough time to watch enough sports to make good predictions. I used to watch sports all day, every day. I would watch ESPN from the time I got up to the time I went to bed. I would watch the same episode of ESPN 5 or 6 times. I loved it. I ate it up. But I don't have time for that. So I can't predict, like, I was watching videos, they're talking about the new rookies and like who's blowing up. And I was like, I've never even heard of this person. When was the last time I watched a basketball game? It was like, and honestly, I missed a whole season. Just skipped it. Had a baby, COVID, all that kind of stuff. It just was too much and I didn't have time. And I watched zero basketball. I didn't watch a single game. Didn't watch the playoffs, didn't watch nothing. There's sports on right now. I haven't watched any of those. So I don't know. I guess it's just so weird. I used to spend crazy hours watching sports and now they're all gone. And again, here I am rambling. So I'm going to get this stuff packed up, go get some lunch with my ladies, 2 of my ladies. I got 3 ladies. And then come back, do some listing. And I got a little update I'm going to give on a return. Not really an update. I don't want to show their address. Not really an update, but basically I'll walk you through what I do with returns. All right, back from lunch. Baby's first lunch adventure was a success, except some guy thought it was okay to like touch a baby. I don't know. Don't touch people's babies. He seemed like a nice enough guy, but don't, my girlfriend about murdered him. Don't touch people's babies. Tip of the day, don't touch other people's babies. To get to the point of why the camera's on, what I do with returns, how I handle returns. And by handle, I mean emotionally, I guess. Not like the steps I take, because the steps you take are, you don't have any, it's a return, and then the lighting here is poor. Let me see if I can, that might be worse, but whatever, we'll see how that feels. That is worse, never mind. All right, so how I handle returns is if they want to return it, I do not offer free returns on anything at all. Don't offer free returns. If you want or desire the top rated seller plus on your eBay account, that is the only reason to do free returns. The only reason. Now you do, in some cases, in order to compete with the market, you have to, which is clothing. Clothing is the only one I can think of. It's one of the reasons why I don't like to deal with clothing. And guess what's in this box, this return? Clothing. That's why I don't like to do it, because if that's your thing, sure, yeah, you do 50 orders a day in clothing and masses, and then you get 4 returns a day, and it's just part of the cycle and part of your business. That's okay, sure, but that's not part of my business. I hate dealing with returns because that means an item that I've sold not once, now I have to sell it twice. So that is twice the amount of time. Then I lose out on the money for the return, because once they pay for that return shipping, 50-50, I would say I end up having to actually pay for the return shipping anyway. But still, 50-50 is better than 100%. That's why I don't offer free shipping. Like, say it's broken, I don't have them return it. So they'll start a return, because a lot of people don't know how the return process works and damage stuff. So I just say, no, just send me a picture that says it shows it's broken, throw it away, here's your money. So then I don't have to return your shipping cost twice. I only got to do it once, the one that went there. That's why lots of times if it's a $9.99 item or something, people just say, don't return it, here's your refund. Or they just refund it and don't say anything. But clothing is returned often because people get it and it doesn't look good on them, or look better in the picture, or the color just wasn't right, or didn't fit right, wore it one time and returned it. I will admit that's something I used to do as a teenager when I needed dress shoes, because I didn't own dress shoes, I just seemed like a waste of money to me. If I had a wedding to go to, I would go to Walmart, buy a cheap pair of dress shoes, wear them, and return them the next day. Is that cool? Is that good? Do I look back on that fondly? No, it was very shady. If I could speak to 16, 17, 18-year-old me, I would be like, hey man, don't do that. It's a chump move, okay? But, people grow as humans, such as life. Learn from these experiences, become better. As long as you become better as a person, your mistakes in the past are, to a degree, okay. But this item specifically, they asked me what size it was. It's a pair of pants. And I said, I don't know. They were vintage hunting pants. I was selling them as like display, not as something you would wear, because they're like dirty. from I think the 50s. They wanted to buy them to actually wear them. And I said, I'm not sure. I don't, it doesn't say a size on it. I'm not even particularly sure on how to measure that. And they said, just give me a measurement across from tip of the waist to tip of the waist, straight across. And I said, hey, that's easy enough. I can do that. So I sent them I told them what it measured, and then I sent a picture with the measurement. And then they got it, and then they said, oh, these are size 34, and you told me they were this size, blah, 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 blah. I didn't even answer the message. I said I accepted the return. They sent it back, because no, that's not how that happened. You specifically asked me to do a thing. I did the thing. You didn't like the thing. You want to send it back. You don't got to send an angry message with like 17 exclamation points and 4 extra question marks. Like, just ask for the return the thing. Like, why do you got to be a jerk about it when you were in the wrong? But I don't try to say any of that stuff, because where does that get you? Nowhere. It gets you frustrated. It doesn't even help to get your feelings out, because they're just going to send something nasty back, and then you're mad about something. So how you handle returns is you accept them, you open them, you look at the item, in this case, to make sure it's just the same item I sent, which it is. Like I said, these are vintage hunting pants. I wasn't really expecting someone in their button fly. I wasn't really expecting somebody to wear these, but it didn't fit, so they sent it back, and that's how you handle returns. That's it. Now I sent them his refund. I've seen people who try to fight it all the time, who get really upset about it. You're just going to pound your head against the wall. If one return is really the difference in you surviving as a business or not, you're not doing it right. It needs to be where you can handle the fact that you're going to get returns. Now, I have had other things where it doesn't work out like that, where like it's fraud. They're sending me a broken item when I sent them a not broken item. And then you need to take extra steps. Then you need to go fight the claim or send them a partial refund with your reasoning and pictures and all that kind of stuff. But as far as like a general return, what you do is you bite your lip, take it, and you take the return and you relist the item, which these, I'm not even going to relist them, because that's how much I hate dealing with clothing. I would say I've probably listed, I don't know, 50 to 100 clothing items, somewhere in there, total guess, but somewhere in that range. 10% of those get returned, 15% of those get returned. And it's always some excuse, but really it's just they didn't want it or didn't like it or couldn't afford it or whatever the reason was. But it's as far as things that get returned, clothing, top. Now there's a lot of money in clothing. If you have the eye and knowledge for vintage clothing and all that kind of stuff, you can make a lot of money, because you can go to like Salvation Army on bag day and put 20 items in a bag for $5 or whatever it is. I don't even know if they do bag day right now. Things got weird in the last year. But you can really make a good return. But as far as I'm concerned, that's not worth the other hassles that come with clothing. So how I handle returns is I do not allow free returns, because that deters a portion of people from returning things for a stupid reason, which I have an example of. Someone bought a baseball glove from me, sent me a message, said, and they were honest. They said, I'd like to return this. I got it, and I don't really like it. Okay, go ahead. You're going to have to pay the return shipping on that item, because it's perfectly fine and you bought it. So there's nothing wrong with it. This person probably doesn't know how the system works, because all they had to do was say, I got it and it's broken. And then eBay would be on their side. So that's where eBay is broken, where there's this little disconnect there. But either way, I would be like, okay, sure, return it. And I would have only returned their money. I would not, even if they said it was broken. At that point, I would have fought it. But to the point, do not give free returns unless you're in a category that you have to compete, which I wouldn't. I just personally wouldn't go into that category. If you want top rated seller plus on your account, and that only is necessary or makes sense when you get into high volume, because what you get with that, further discounted shipping. So when you're getting into the 50 items a day you're sending out, 1,500 items in your store, that kind of range, then it's worth considering, because that extra hassle and that extra time and those extra returns in the long run actually make you more money. So you can even just not even relist things when they return. You could just write them off at that point. To drive home my point, how you handle returns, get back to my list, is you do not offer free returns. If you can, accept returns without paying the return shipping. And then 3, when you get it, you inspect the item and you immediately send them the refund. If you got the item and it's in the condition you sent it, send the refund. Don't try to argue with people. They're in their computer room across the country. It's not face to face. You're arguing with a shell of a person, not actually even a human. So try not to let them get you frustrated. Accept them for what they are. Try to avoid categories that have high volumes of returns, which the only one I know of is clothing. If you do know of another one, please let me know in the comments so I can also avoid selling that thing. But that's going to be all for this one. I hope you liked it. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Like, subscribe, share. If you want to know when my videos come out, go ahead and hit the bell icon. You'll know immediately. And be good to each other.